We observed a classroom, an early childhood classroom, that was also providing adult education in a pueblo in northern New Mexico. And we were just fascinated how this classroom teacher was able to be so respected and so responsive to the culture in this preschool classroom in this adult education. And we really observed her and really discovered that it wasn't about cultural knowledge that she had, but it was about her. We observed her over time and interviewed her and her classroom aides and the children and the elders that she worked with. And we began to see a pattern, and the pattern was built around respect and reciprocity and a responsiveness, not to the children, not only to the children, but to the families, and the respect she had for that culture. So it wasn't knowledge about the culture, but it was the interaction and the relationship that she built with them, and how she nurtured that, and how she kind of took a step back and took measured interactions with them in terms of how she adapted the curriculum and her general interactions, a whole sense of respect. Not that she was coming to this new setting and telling them what to do, how to educate them, how to improve them, but really taking the strengths of that culture and nurturing it and developing it and leveraging it through relationships with them. And it was just an incredibly successful program that we really observed and wanted to share with other programs.
We have worked with early childhood practitioners who work at Head Start, who have advanced degrees. We've also worked with early care staff, cooks, and secretaries and receptionists that work intensely with parents and families, but that are not, your typical practitioner. We hear all of a sudden we started to work together. All of a sudden we got it, and we weren't sort of at loggerheads anymore. There wasn't a power play. I wasn't trying to get her to do something. It just happened. And we'll get those kinds of responses a lot. One of the major hurdles is that we're all trained to be problem solvers. I mean, that's why we went into early childhood. Right. So we can fix things. And so there's an emphasis on, here's what you need to do. And skill dialogue really moves people away from that emphasis. That doesn't mean that solutions aren't sought, but it means that that's not the primary focus. Okay. We want them to emerge and to be developed rather than imposed from one person to another. The other piece about skill dialogue is that it requires a great deal of self-reflection and the willingness to see things from other people's perspectives, not just your own. And sometimes that's difficult for people depending on their previous experience that they bring.
Different way of thinking that
right.
May not be used to.
And it can be slightly threatening because you no longer can say this is the right way, my way is the right way. It becomes a little bit more open to perhaps there's many ways of doing this. So we found that can also be challenging. And the mind shift is also really challenging. We're very conditioned in this culture to think as either or. It's either this way or that way. It's either right or it's wrong. And skill dialogue says there's at least three choices. That's not just choice A or B. And learning to think that way sometimes can be quite challenging.